Hi guys, it's Alexis. Today is January 28th, 2026. 3 weeks from today, 3 weeks ago from today, I started my research study based on the ethnography of Mitch Denier's Sidewalk from the 90s. I had explained how I hated the book in my theories class, and I wanted to create one that's not outdated. Except for I'm not a researcher, so none of the work that I'm doing is to be cited. It's literally just because I hated the book and I thought it was stupid. But I thought it was a really good book. That's not my argument. I'm not saying the book is bad. I personally don't like it. That's my opinion. We're allowed to have those. So, in the span of 3 weeks, a lot has happened. Like I said, I started it 3 weeks ago, meaning it was January 7th. Another really big thing that happened January 7th was the killing of Renee Good, the murder of Renee Good by federal ICE agents. And since that has happened, they've killed a plethora of people. In the span of 3 weeks, even before she was killed, there was another man, Keith Porter, he was killed. There's just a lot happening around the world. And the thing about my research study is it's digitalized. It's a digital ethnographic research study rooted in pop culture, based in 2026 instead of 1990. The crazy thing is pop culture right now is flooded with ice. It's flooded, but it's frozen. You know what I mean? Like, we're stuck in time, and it's literally frozen in ice. We have federal agents killing and kidnapping people, and that's just normal. We're supposed to act like this is normal. Sitting here and saying this to my computer doesn't feel right. Watching this back doesn't feel right. Like, if I were saying this in the 90s, change the timeline that we are in. If I were to be saying what I'm saying right now, we would all be scared. We would all be furious. So much has happened in the year 2026. 3 weeks. 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks. There's a war in Venezuela. You guys, what is going on? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's the year 2026. It feels like I'm in a dystopian movie. Censorship is high. TikTok is no longer a safe space. People are censoring themselves with the language that they use, making it easier and easier for us to be censored. I don't think anyone is... I can't say that I don't think anyone cares, because I think the problem is we all care and we all know something is wrong. We all know something is wrong. And we all are on our screens posting about why it's wrong, but videos are being taken down. We're watching censorship happen in real life, but this time through digital means. There's propaganda being spread everywhere. We're just supposed to be okay with it? You guys, this is literally history repeating itself, but this time we are in a digital age. You guys have to take it out of the context. Take it out of the context, because context is important. My professor literally said using scripture without context can be used as a proof text. And I think that's actually so genius. But I also wrote this down months ago in my playbook. I said context is important. With context, we don't care. With context, we care. Without context, we don't care. Without context, we care. Does that make sense? If we have context of what's happening, we can be like, oh yeah, that's the Holocaust. Oh yeah, that's slavery. Oh yeah, that's, you know what I mean? But with the context of what's happening in today's age, oh no, they're just doing their jobs. Should have came here legal. Shut the fuck up. They're humans. That's the problem, is you start calling people names and you start saying illegal aliens. You start treating them like they're not humans. I know how you guys treated black people in America. Y'all didn't think we were human 3/4. Yeah, that's so you can justify treating people less than human. Who knows what's happening to these people you guys are stealing off the streets? Who knows? We don't. Because you don't even treat them like they're humans. You don't call them human beings. And it justifies your weird actions. It's 2026. We're rewriting laws to justify hate. You're bringing back years and years and years and years and years of work of terror that we literally just dismantled. What is going on? It's 2026. Is that why we don't care? Because it's 2026? And the thing is that's the problem, is we do care. I keep saying we don't care, but we care. That's the problem, is we care. But you're looking through a screen. You're watching me through a screen. You can't say, if someone were to climb through my window and grab me, you couldn't do anything about it. And you would just watch it. And then you would repost it. That's it. Because that's all we can do. We watch it and we repost it. There are people protesting right now. Censored. And then you're killing the people who are protesting. When has it ever been illegal to protest? When you start alienating people? When you start killing people? When does it become unjust? Or it doesn't matter because it's just 2026? Is that what pop culture has come to? My research study is called The Elephant in the Room. It's based off of Miss Genier's Sidewalk from the 90s, an ethnographic research study studying unhoused African American men in Greenwich Village, New York. I didn't like the book because of the linguistics aspect. I thought because Mitch Denier couldn't define the way that the people spoke on the sidewalks as AAVE, African American Vernacular English, as a dialect, calling it street talk, when in reality that is the way of the land and the people of African descent in America due to systematic oppression and racism. Because he couldn't define it as a dialect, I laughed. Because he had to have a person who he was experimenting on and researching tell him to record the conversations for accuracy, I laughed. You as the researcher didn't even think about that? And yeah, it's for pissing somebody else's coffee. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So yeah, the book was great, well written, well researched. Stupid in my opinion. You couldn't define what they were doing for what it was. A hustle. They were selling books on the street. It was a hustle. They were hustling. You're a white man, of course you wouldn't. Why is it so? You know what I mean? Was it interesting because it was the 90s? Was it interesting because they were black men? Was it interesting because they're homeless? What was so... I don't know. I read the title of the book. I read the little details, and I'm like, yeah, they're hustling. They're selling books on the street. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's cool. He's researching it. But the fact is, if you were to literally say AAVE was the language, the dialect that they used within the street instead of calling it street talk, we would all understand your point. They were hustling. And you would be able to say that was a hustle. That's what Sidewalk was. Sidewalk, the book, the ethnography, I mean. I can't even say the word right. The ethnography. See, I'm correcting myself. Excuse my mistake. That's it. That's the problem, is people don't know how to correct themselves and excuse their mistakes. I feel as if we went wrong somewhere, and instead of correcting our mistakes, we just keep going and going and going. And watching the world fall apart in 2026, I just turned 20. I just became an adult. Why are we living in this shithole? Why is this the world that you want to give to us? First of all, y'all fuck up the economy. We can't afford houses. It's a dream. I made a joke about it. My dream is to buy a home. We can't even afford groceries. 2026? You want to talk about 2026? The 12 words that I have assigned for my research paper was, let's name them. We have, I forgot. I'm just joking. I read it so much. Okay. First word is adolescence. Second word is psychology. Third word, spirituality. Fourth word is religion. Fifth word is politics. Sixth word is corruption. Seventh word is capitalism. Eighth word is greed. Ninth word is trauma. No, it's not. It's mental illness. 10th word is trauma. 11th word is love. 12th word is advocate. Okay? What I did was I had people pick a number, 1 through 12. Random assignment. They chose a random number. Each word is associated with a number. Once they pick their number, I give them their word and I say, define this word within the context of pop culture in the year 2026. Everyone picked their number, they picked their word, and they defined it for me. And we had a conversation through digital means. Instagram. They DM me. We sent DMs back and forth. What does corruption mean to you in the context of 2026? Oh, there were a lot of things said. What does capitalism mean to you in the context of pop culture in 2026? That was the most chosen number, 7. If we want to talk about numerology and a group effort of, analyzing how people think, well, there was a phenomenon, group 7, a couple months ago. People were like, you're in group 7, and people felt like they were superior to the other numbers. Nobody even knows what the other numbers meant. Group 7 was just a model number, and it created a community thing through social media. So I kind of think it's funny that 7 was the number that was picked, but emphasis on the 7th day. That's when I started my research study. The fact that I started my research study on the 7th and the number 7 got the most picks and descriptions and engagement is insane. Emphasis on the number 7, right? What did God do on the 7th day? Right. Emphasis on the number 7. So like I said, it's been 3 weeks since I started my research study on January 7th. It's been 3 weeks since Renee Good was killed. It's been 4 weeks since the year started, 2026. Shit show. So yeah, I will give you more details about my research study when I finish writing, but this is just a check-in, as I do when I have time. I'm so happy that you guys got to sit and listen to me yap. We are keeping track of the timeline. That's what this is. This is a timeline. When is the time right? When is the time right? When is the time right? That's a good question. When is the time right? I don't know. But I was talking to my friend today. She was sitting in my room, and I was thinking about this random, I don't know what I was thinking about. I'm always thinking. And I kept bringing up timelines. And I'm like, we never look at our life backwards. You know what I mean? We live passively, we take it day by day, and then eventually you kind of get to an age where you're like, wait, maybe I should stop and think about everything that's happened to me. See, for me, it was when I turned 20. I'm not a kid anymore. The world doesn't see me as an adult, though. You guys still see me as a kid. I'm still a kid in majority of people's eyes. It's just, there's shit that I can't do. Shit that I can do. Shit, I can't do shit. I'm 20. Like, that's not real. But I was able to step out and say, wow, I am adult living on my own. I'm no longer a teenager. I'm no longer a kid. What type of childhood did I have? And then I start to realize it's like, wow, now that I think about it, what kind of childhood did I have? There was goods, there were bads. We get the chance to step back and look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. We can actually realize, hey, maybe that's not normal. Hey, maybe that's actually traumatic. Hey, it's not your fault. Right? Okay. So that's my analysis of being 20 is I'm stepping back and I'm looking at everything that I've ever experienced in my lifetime because I can't go back and change anything. Now I can actually look at my timeline, my 20-year timeline, and actually see everything that has happened. And then when we put it into the context of the year 2026, I think about where we are on the timeline of the world. And I'm like, this is one of those times. We might not realize it right now. I think we are aware of it. But best believe we are in the dark ages. In a couple years, we're going to look back. History books are going to document it all. That's what we need to be doing is documenting. And then we'll be able to be like, wow. Was bad. That was bad. 2026 is bad. It's really bad. And I don't know if we're going to realize it soon enough, like in time. But it's really bad. I thought that we would have other things to talk about by now. But we're 4 weeks in. And it's getting worse. They just killed a nurse. They killed a ICU nurse for recording. It's bad. So welcome to 2026. This is our timeline. We'll see what happens.